How do players like Ernie Els and Freddie Couples generate what is seemingly effortless power? They do this by elevating the club. The more space you have to accelerate the club, the more speed you can generate at the bottom. Think about it this way. If you're going sledding, if you want to generate the most speed at the bottom of that hill, are you going to find a short hill or are you going to find the tallest and steepest hill? You're going to go to that really tall, steep hill, and that is no different in your golf swing. So how do we get the arms up there? First, we need to understand what exactly is elevating the club to begin with. What's elevating the club is your front deltoid muscles. This is a muscle in the front of your shoulder. If you put your hand on your shoulder like this and you lift your arm up, you'll be able to feel that muscle contracting and then relaxing as you put your arm back down. That's what we need to do to get the club up in the air. I'm going to show you something that's called the touchdown drill that's going to help you do that. So first what we want to do is get the club out of our hands. And I call this the touchdown drill because it's almost exactly what you're doing when you're lifting the club up. You're doing what is a touchdown, right? If you think about an NFL referee making a touchdown or a field goal call, they're doing exactly that. They're elevating their arms up in the air. And this is what we need to do in the golf swing to get more power. So you don't have to have a ball, but I like to use this just to it helps me kind of sync exactly what I'm doing. And sometimes getting the club out of your hands can help you to understand how your body moves a lot better because you're not focused on what the club is doing so much, you're more focused on what your body is doing. So what I want you to do is I just want you to grab a ball, or you don't have to have a ball, you can just do this without a ball. But like I said, I like to use the ball. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my golf posture here, just like I would if I was addressing a ball. And I'm going to just lift this club up, almost like I'm doing a touchdown signal, up over my head here. I'm going to get that sense and feel for how my arms are just going straight up, right? So I'm just going to do a couple of those and understand that I'm going to stay in my golf posture here. I'm going to understand, okay, I'm lifting this up. Now what I want to feel like is I'm going to turn my hips and I'm going to turn my shoulders, and this is going to look a lot more like a golf swing if I add in this lifting up, this touchdown feeling, this touchdown call feeling as I'm doing that. So I'm going to have the ball right here, and now I'm going to turn my shoulders and my hips as I'm lifting it up. And that's going to look just like that. And you can see how I'm getting it very, very elevated. My arms are getting very elevated, very much above my head. I'm looking more like Bubba Watson maybe as I'm going up to the top here. If you look at it from this angle, I'm going to have it right in front of me, and it's almost like I'm getting ready to hike a ball a little bit. And I'm going to turn my shoulders and turn my hips as I'm lifting this ball, almost like a touchdown signal up in the air. So that's going to look like this. So you can see I'm really turning my hips and my shoulders, and I'm getting my arms very, very elevated as I go up to the top. This is how you're going to be able to generate lots of power. So now that you got a good sense and feel for that without the club in your hand, now let's add the club in there. Now I want you to do the same thing you did with the ball. I just want you to lift it up, straight up, like you're doing a touchdown signal to start with. Do a couple of these. All right. Now I'm going to move away from my wall a little bit. Now I'm going to add the hips and the shoulders, right? And with the lifting of the club to be able to get that club nice and elevated as I go up to the top. So you can see I'm getting nice and tall there at the top. Very, very tall at the top. Let's look at it from this angle. I'm going to go up a couple times. Up, up. And now I'm going to turn my hips and my shoulders, and I'm going to go up at the same time. So you can see I'm getting very, very elevated there at the top. This is how you create effortless power. So now that I've got a good sense and feel for that, I'm going to do some practice swings where I'm going up, 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 and then I'm going to come around and do the full finish there. I'm just going to go nice and slow at first. Go about 50% speed and give me about 10 of those. Do about 10 of those where you're going up, feeling the club go up and coming all the way around. Now I want you to give me another 10, but I want you to bump up the speed a little bit. I want you to go at about 75% speed. Once you start feeling comfortable with that, getting the club to go up, up, up as you're turning, now let's bump it up. Let's go at full speed with it. Just like if there was a golf ball there, I want you to go full speed with that. Go feel that club go up, 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 up as you're turning your body, and then swing all the way through at your full speed. Once that starts to feel comfortable, now we're ready to add the golf ball and start hitting some shots. Now there is a big key to this that tends to happen with folks who I see who get the club more elevated, who maybe aren't used to having the club that elevated. Sometimes what happens is we'll get the club up here and then we'll kind of come down on that same path, right? We'll go up steep and then we'll come down steep. And that can cause some issues. You may start hitting slices, right? Cutting across the ball, hitting a slice. You may start hitting pulls. You may start coming down steep, and then stand up out of it at the end, flip, and hit kind of a weak shot. So what we want to do is we want to get that club shallowing out. And what that means is now that we got the club up here, now we got to get it flattening out as we're starting down. And what this is what we call the move on the website. In the move course, we have the tennis racket drill, and this is hands down the best drill for shallowing out the club. So what I want you to do is I want you to work on this touchdown drill. Get the club up there nice and elevated so that way you can create lots of effortless power. And once you're getting that club elevated, I want you to work on this tennis racket drill that's going to allow you to shallow out the club. You can create more power and also be more consistent. Those things don't have to be exclusive of each other. So if you want to work on the tennis racket drill, I'm going to show you a preview of that drill where Clay Ballard, the founder of Top Speed Golf, is going to demonstrate it for you. If you'd like to get the link to the whole drill, just click the iCard at the top of the screen there. If you don't see the iCard, no worries. Just go to the link in the description. You can find it from there. Play well, and I'll talk to you soon.
Good player problems. We're going to talk about shallowing that club shaft out as we're starting down, as we're doing this rotating of the face that we worked on in the last video. As we start this downswing, what you'll see with basically all of the top players is instead of coming kind of over the top and letting the hands come out away from their body, letting the club come out away from their body, again coming down steep into the ball and then having to open up, kind of fillet open the face and add loft to it. The flattening of the shaft should happen as soon as we start down. So as we start this downswing, what we want to have happening here, you can imagine that if I draw a line from the hosel of my club up through my right elbow, that's my swing plane line, my elbow plane. As I go to the top of the swing, I'm going to be slightly above that. And then as I start down, I want my hands to start to shallow out. I want the club to shallow out inside of this elbow plane. And at the same time,